Hello, welcome to Scott's Odyssey. One of the more amazing ideals within Pennsylvania is the holding on to old things instead of just tearing them down and turning it back into a lawn or a forest. Today, we find ourselves at an old log church, and curiously enough, it has a steeple. See you in a minute. Welcome back. If you've watched my videos before, thank you for your patronage, and if you're new to Scott's Odyssey, welcome aboard. Please give a click on that like, and don't forget to click the subscribe for more Odyssey stories of who we once were. This gets the message out to YouTube to give the video rank and promote it toward people who have interests in these types of topics. Make sure you jump out to my Patreon or the Odyssey merchandise store in order to help keep this channel going. Built in 1851, this 40 feet by 24 feet log cabin church on stone foundation was built by the German Catholic settlers who had immigrated to this area in the 1840s. The Cooper settlement was founded by David Cooper in 1828 and was populated with a handful of Irish and English settlers and migrants from the now ghost town of Peel, which was settled by Senator Samuel Richard Peel as a coal mining company that had no success in their coal seam, which led everyone to either move 2 miles up the road to Grass Flat or leave the company and join the people of the Cooper settlement, who were mostly farmers. The 1844 migration into the Cooper settlement very quickly turned into a predominantly German Catholic community. Before this church was built, there was a Union church used by the Lutherans, the Methodists, Presbyterians, Second Adventists, formerly known as Messiah Society, and United Brethren. The large Catholic community that was surrounded by these different religious groups were not privy to the use of the Union Church. So on September the 2nd of 1851, Bishop Michael O'Connor of Pittsburgh dedicated a log cabin that was being used by 35 Catholic families for Mass as the official Catholic Church of Cooper Settlement. Now, I'm sure you noticed I did not say the name of the church. Let's get into the oddness right off the start, and we'll see why. This is currently and commonly called St. Severin's Church, dedicated by Bishop O'Connor based on the first Catholic family living in this area as the Severin family. Now, if I'm being German about this, that would not be Severin, but Severin family. I know this seems an oddly specific thing to talk about, how to pronounce a person's name versus the pronunciation of a saint's name in the Catholic Church, right? Well, not exactly. You see, the bishop was Irish and dedicated the church after Saint Severin. But the historical documents state it was Saint Severin of Bordeaux, Bishop of Cologne, where Bordeaux is a city in France and Cologne is a city in Germany. I know, big deal, right? Well, as it would turn out, there was a Saint Severin, former bishop of Bordeaux, France, and bishop of Cologne, Germany, who died in 420 AD. And as luck would have it, there was a Saint Severin, former bishop of Cologne, Germany, and bishop of Bordeaux, France, who died in 460 to 470 AD. But that's not the end of it. Both were known for their strong stance against Arianism, and both have their feast days in October, one on the 21st and the other on the 22nd. In both situations, they are attributed with the same acts of miracles. It was not until very recently that a formal separation of who these two saints were actually took place. As a matter of fact, it happened only back in 1999. So whether we should be saying Saint Severin or Saint Severin is a really hard call, even based on their different countries of origins. I'm going to go with Severin because of the German first family whom the Pittsburgh bishop used to reference the naming for the dedication. But for the ease of this video, I will stick with the common name of Severin. St. Severin is surrounded by a graveyard and a foundation ruins of an old rectory. The graveyard contains many of the original settlers of Cooper Settlement. In 1855, the property was conveyed to the Benedictine Society of Westmoreland County. More specifically, this would have been the St. Vincent Arch Abbey in Latrobe, which was founded by Boniface Weimer, who specifically sought to serve German immigrations. In 1864, the property was transferred to the Roman Catholic Diocese of Erie and continued to serve all Catholics until 1880, when a much larger church was erected just 1/4 of a mile down the road on the outskirts of Drifting, Pennsylvania. The church architecture is square-hewn white pine logs with 2 sills on each of the long sides. The logs are connected in typical half-dovetail fashion commensurate with the German building styles and hand-split shingles covering the roof. There was originally a stone-centered chimney that was at one point replaced with a potbelly coal stove, and at this time, neither of those exist. On the roof, there is a 4-sided inset steeple with an opening on all sides. Oddly enough, the roof of the steeple is an octagonal structure with a steep pitch. As you enter the doorway, you step into the vestibule just below the choir loft before entering the nave. The pews are set up diagonally, perhaps for safety reasons or more likely because of how wide they are, but typically they should all be square to the sanctuary, which is not fenced in this building. There's an altar and a pulpit, but no tabernacle nor a chair for the priest to sit on. Now, what is really interesting is the wooden structure surrounding the altar. Based on the time period of early 1800s, I guess it's possible that this was used as a shout out to Astwerk, or in English, branchwork, which would have been popular throughout Europe during a humanitarian renaissance in the late 1400s, early 1500s, but that doesn't make a lot of sense for the 1800s. And it's not a Jesse tree, and even if it was, it's not something that would have been found in a Catholic church, not even back in the 1800s. Maybe it's the outer structure of a shed or barn used for a nativity scene, although that would be odd too, being that it should be more of a cave or a lean-to. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. If you have any idea what's behind this, leave a comment down below. It's not something of a Catholic church nor Catholic practice, so I'm really not sure about it. So I hope you enjoyed this visit to an old log church that still stands after 177 years and is still used on various occasions for some smaller ceremonies. If you haven't already, remember to click like on this video and to subscribe for more ODDySEEy stories of who we once were. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.